Aging is the one thing no one escapes. Until now. We're on the brink of rewriting biology itself. Scientists now believe aging isn't an unstoppable fate. It's a disease, and like all diseases, it might be treatable. Let's break it down. What causes aging? Aging is the result of several biological processes. Telomere shortening, caps on your DNA strands that wear down each time cells divide. Cellular senescence, cells that stop dividing but don't die, creating inflammation and dysfunction. Mitochondrial decay, your cell's energy centers get sloppy with time. And epigenetic drift, your genetic expression becomes noisier and less accurate. Now, imagine we can intervene in each of these. We're not talking about fantasy, we're talking about labs. Right now. Welcome to Parallel, a mix of storytelling and thought-provoking what-if scenarios, combining narrative fiction and analysis that includes real-world science, philosophy, and potential real-world implications. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment so that you do not miss out on the next episode. Because, one reality, sasti boom, is never enough.
They told me the stars were unreachable. Now I'm finally leaving Earth, not because I'm running out of time, but because I have too much of it. You see, I haven't aged since the year 2025. I was one of the first. Back then, we called it age suspension, a cocktail of therapies, nanotech, and gene rewrites that stopped the clock on our bodies. It didn't make me immortal, but death stopped chasing me. I've watched centuries rise and fall, empires collapse, oceans swallow cities, and now, I'm setting out to find a new world, not because I need it, but because Earth doesn't feel like home anymore.
Where is the science today? Let's look at the players and technologies reshaping the fight against aging. Firstly, gene editing. CRISPR and newer tools like base editing can now reverse aging markers in mice and soon in humans. Secondly, epigenetic reprogramming. Harvard's David Sinclair has demonstrated in mice that restoring gene expression patterns could reverse age-related blindness. Thirdly, senolytics. These are drugs that remove zombie cells, those that linger and cause inflammation. Early trials show they improve tissue health and extend lifespan in animals, and AI in longevity. Companies like Altos Labs and Calico are using machine learning to design new therapies to slow aging. And let's not forget Bryan Johnson, the tech entrepreneur turned biohacking test subject. He spends millions annually on age reversal protocols and regularly publishes his biological metrics. At one point, Bryan's biological age was measured younger than his actual son's. His motto, "Don't die." This isn't just science, it's a film we've seen before. The film In Time. From 2011, in this film, time is currency. Everyone stops aging at 25, but they must earn more time to stay alive. The rich live forever, the poor die young. It's not that far off the truth. What happens when immortality has a price tag? Bicentennial Man, Highlander, The Age of Adeline, Altered Carbon. All of these stories play with the emotional and ethical fallout of extreme longevity. Boredom, power imbalance, and a warped view of humanity. The same question echoes. If you could live forever, would you? Should you? Let's assume we cracked the code. Let's say stopping aging becomes reality. Who gets it? There might be an economic divide. What if the therapy costs millions per year? What if you need weekly maintenance from robotic surgeons? What if the elite live forever and the rest just don't? It could create a new class divide, the ageless and the expendable. Immortality becomes the ultimate luxury good. The poor die not because of biology, but because of price tags. And what about overpopulation? Aging keeps the population in check. If death takes a back seat, we're talking about billions more mouths to feed, house, and employ. Even if births are limited, space becomes a premium. Earth can't stretch forever. Of course, there will also be a psychological toll. How do you live knowing life doesn't end? Would relationships lose meaning? Would time lose urgency? Would existence become hollow? The fear of death gives life direction. Without it, some argue, we may lose purpose entirely. In this alternate timeline, imagine what happens when anti-aging becomes the norm, the global impact. In politics, lifelong rulers never leave office. Dictators could reign for centuries. At the workplace, there would be no retirements. Younger generations can't advance. Stagnation sets in. In love and relationships, the marriage vows of "till death do us part" might stretch across centuries or collapse under their own weight. What about insurance, law, and ethics? How do you insure someone who doesn't age, and why would you bother? Who decides when someone should die? Do you lose your rights if you refuse the treatment? And here's another haunting thought. What if society starts mandating longevity, like they did with the COVID vaccine, forcing people to undergo treatments to remain useful? What happens then? We do, of course, have to face the moral dilemma. Let's not forget, death gives meaning to life. It sets boundaries, urgency, value. If we erase death, not from accidents, but from age itself, we're playing God with time. Religions would be shaken. Spiritual philosophies uprooted. Existence would need new meaning. We'd need a new kind of human philosophy. One that doesn't ask, "How do I live before I die?" But instead, "What do I do when I no longer can?" In the quiet of space, that 2,000-year-old man stares out into the stars. He has no gray hair, no aches, no expiration date, but he carries a different kind of burden, the burden of witnessing too much, of losing too many people, of remembering civilizations long gone. Immortality isn't a gift. It's a question, and the answer changes the longer you live. So if one day someone offers you the chance to stop aging, don't just ask what it costs. Ask what it's worth. Thank you so much for listening in to this episode of Parallel. If you have an idea for a future episode, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow its audience. Until the next episode, remember, one reality is never enough.